In 1 year, AI-generated videos went from this to this. OpenAI did it again. The question now is, how exactly did they do it? The company behind ChatGPT announced Sora, a text-to-video AI model. That means that you can input a description, for example, bombastically bumbling idiot talking about tech, and here comes the output. If you're anything like me, you're always losing things. From my keys, which I left in my bed this morning, to my, what's it called? Oh yeah, my script. Here it is. Hey, that's not very nice. Sora is still in testing to ensure that it doesn't generate any unsafe video. How can a video be unsafe? Well, it's quite easy to imagine in the age of fake news, someone using this kind of tool to target it at a political opponent, saying something that they would not say, or creating an image of a war zone to perpetuate a false narrative. It can also be used for scams like in deepfakes, and unfortunately, much like in deepfakes, it can be used to generate non-consensual videos, especially of women, both for humiliation or blackmail. It's understandable then that safety is crucial when it comes to any AI system that will generate images or videos. I'm sure OpenAI would rather have us focus on their quite impressive efforts to keep their models safe, but creators have been asking, how exactly did you train it to be this good?
But Alfie, how do you actually train an AI model?
Oh, I'm glad you freaking asked. AI models are hard to train today for 3 reasons. Number 1 is that they require enormous amounts of computer power. OpenAI has Microsoft's Azure cloud to handle the billions of dollars of compute that it takes to train up an AI model like this. Number 2 is a huge amount of human labor. This goes from actually labeling the content that goes into the training set to the actual work of engineers who are fine-tuning the model. AI is not automatic and has a lot of human fine-tuning to make it work properly. OpenAI says it's using GPT-3 to label the videos, but it's safe to assume that double-checking the videos for dangerous content still involves a lot of human labor. The YouTuber Abigail Thorne examines what it actually means for the people working these jobs, if you want a deeper dive into that topic. And number 3, the data.
This morning, the New York Times suing OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT, and Microsoft for copyright infringement.
Now, a lawsuit targeting the company behind ChatGPT, a group of prominent authors is suing the AI pioneer, accusing it of copyright infringement.
The suit claims that Stable Diffusion is committing copyright infringement on a mind-bogglingly massive scale.
You have machines that are behaving like people and legal systems that were designed with human-centric concepts.
A disclaimer first. The legality of using unlicensed content in the training of an AI model is still up in the air. In jurisdictions around the world, these lawsuits that I mentioned are in the US, but discussions about ethical and safe AI developments are taking place in Asia as well. That being said, there are companies taking an ethical approach to using copyrighted works in their training data. Adobe's Firefly model, which I use in thumbnails and graphics for this channel, is trained on licensed content from their enormous source of stock footage and videos. For companies that don't follow that model, though, the public is not so kind. One member of the Actors Guild in Hollywood described this system, and others like it, as
an amalgamation of a bunch of images and footage that they stole from artists.
Defenders of OpenAI's strategy say that the output of these models does not contain the copyrighted work itself, and is thus fair use. They liken it to a person taking inspiration from a painting in their work, but detractors disagree with that characterization. They say that AI is not a person, and that even if their work does not appear in the final output directly, the impact that it had on the training set should be compensated. OpenAI previously stated that it would be impossible to train today's leading AI models without using copyrighted materials. That's not exactly a strong legal argument, and raises the question of if we should be developing AI in the first place if it's not possible to develop it ethically, but let's move on. Given how they've acted shiftily about the training sources for the AI model Sora, it's safe to work under the assumption that they have used unlicensed content from YouTube, social media, and the greater internet. This is a development that will affect all markets, especially those that don't have labor unions. For example, Southeast Asian brands have taken to AI influencers to promote their product.
Welcome to Acme Fashion. I'm Jordan Rivera. It's a pleasure to have you join us.
It's seen as a safe way for a brand to still be in touch and working in social media without being too corporate, but still allows them to have control of the opinions that the influencer presents, and they don't have to pay or deal with people who go off script. For example, it was just last week that I was talking to this guy that sanitized is another way you can describe them, but however it makes you feel, they are increasingly popular. AI video generators like Sora will be used to make them even more convincing and ubiquitous. Here's my take. As AI is today, it's difficult for me to use these tools without feeling like I'm using someone else's work. I've not gotten access to Sora, but despite the legal gray area, I have no doubt that it's going to be a massive game changer for the world of video production. I would hope that it would be possible to work out an economic model that compensates artists, but given how brazenly OpenAI has used unlicensed content, it seems likely to me that until they're forced by a court to actually set up this system, they'll continue down the path that they're down now. Storytellers would in theory be able to use this kind of tool to make their books come to life. Commercial clients will love the reduced costs and increased control of not having to go on set to shoot. And A or B-list actors will still receive loads of money if they decide to use these tools, because the use of their likeness is so valuable. The people in the middle, or starting videographers or photographers, will be left to adapt or die. And that's how it's been with other technological advances in the past. I'm equal parts excited and terrified of what this means for my job, but I think that's the end of my take on OpenAI's Sora. If you have your own take, make sure to let us know in the comments, and if you're interested in more of my take on how technology is changing the world of video production, you can check out last week's video, where I talk about virtual production studios. I'm afraid it's time for me to stop generating, but until then, take care.